死ぬような努力をしてあそこまでになったんじゃ。
とにかくな、舐められちゃいかんのだ。
Fall is almost upon us, folks, and that means a fresh batch of anime has hit the aisles. It's time to cozy up and dive into a season filled with new adventures, heartwarming stories, and adrenaline-pumping action. Have you been well, folks? Let's jump right into this fall lineup filled with shows promising to keep you glued to the screen. Number 10, Loner Life in Another World.
俺は今、異世界を一人ぼっちで攻略している。
Loneliness is a curse, but not always. You see, when you're the last one in line for the magical skills lottery, it's actually a blessing in disguise. Haruka, our resident cynic, finds himself in a world where everyone's got flashy abilities, but he's stuck with the equivalent of a basic survival skill. He was winning a lottery ticket, only to find out it's expired and the prize is a lifetime subscription to a magazine about the history of paperclips. But hey, at least he's got a front row seat to the chaos. His classmates, being the drama queens they are, start squabbling over who gets to be the leader of the group. Meanwhile, Haruka's just over there, chilling with his trusty basic survival skills, which, it turns out, are pretty handy when you're trying to avoid getting eaten by a giant spider.
誰にも口出しされない気ままな生活。何者にも代えがたい。
As the situation escalates, Haruka, the unlikely hero, finds himself stepping up to save the day. And who knew that a skill like basic survival could be so, well, basic? It turns out, sometimes, the most mundane things can be the most extraordinary. Number 9, the most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan.
俺のやり方で頂点まで這い上がる。
You know, when those online gurus tell you to upskill, they're not kidding. Noel, our protagonist, is living proof. He's got a family tree that's practically dripping with heroic lineage, but unfortunately, he's the branch that's just there. No magical powers, no swordsmanship, just a whole lot of talking. So, instead of wielding a sword or casting spells, Noel decides to wield words. He's a talker, a job that's basically like being the world's most persuasive salesman, but without the commission. Undeterred by his lack of combat skills, he sets out to build an empire, one word at a time.
謝るなら今のうちだぞ。甘いな。
He's got a vision, a clan so powerful, it'll make the most notorious guilds in the land tremble with fear. All he needs to do is convince a bunch of assassins and heroes to join forces. Easy peasy, right? Right? Number 8, Spiral into Horror.
なあ、キリエ。
Horror. It's a spiral of madness, a twisted maze of terror. It all starts with the snail shell, a seemingly harmless object that becomes a gateway to a world of spiraling horror. As the residents of Kurozo-cho become obsessed with the shape, their lives unravel in a series of gruesome and inexplicable events. The town, once a peaceful haven, is transformed into a nightmare where spirals are more than just a geometric pattern. The spiral motif begins to appear everywhere, from the intricate patterns on the town's buildings to the swirling clouds in the sky. The townspeople, driven by an inexplicable force, start exhibiting strange behaviors. Some become increasingly aggressive, while others withdraw into a state of catatonic trance. As the spiral's influence grows stronger, the town is plunged into chaos. People disappear without a trace, and the bizarre accidents occur with alarming frequency. The once familiar streets of Kurozo-cho become a labyrinth of fear, where every shadow seems to hide a lurking danger. Kirie and Shuichi, caught in the midst of this spiraling nightmare, must fight to survive and uncover the truth behind the town's affliction, which, as you can guess, is easier said than done. Number 7, Demon Lord 2099. Demons, eh? So, the Demon Lord is back in town, and this time, he's got a neon-lit cyberpunk city to conquer. Veltol, the guy who once ruled the Roost, is making a comeback in a world that's basically a futuristic magical Disneyland. We've got dragons flying through skyscrapers, wizards hacking into the city's mainframe, and demons trading stocks on the dark web. It's a world where the old and the new collide in a dazzling, chaotic explosion of colors and noise. Veltol might be a bit rusty, but he's got the right attitude for the job. He's ready to reclaim his title as a top dog, even if if it means learning how to use a smartphone and negotiating with the cybernetic ninja.
ゆっくりと浮き上がるように意識が上昇していく。
Yes, he's kinda lost, and yes, he's the underdog, except the underdog is a demon lord, and the underdog is trying to take over a city that's already pretty well off. Number 6, Yakuza Fiancé.
めちゃくちゃにされたいです。
And in another issue of Ugh, Marriage, we have Yoshino Some, the unfortunate victim of a Yakuza matchmaking service. Think of being a normal high schooler, minding your own business, and suddenly finding out you're betrothed to the heir of a rival crime family. A lifetime supply of stress and anxiety. Yoshino's life takes a dramatic turn when she's forced to leave her hometown and move to Tokyo to meet her future husband, Kirishima Miyama. Expectations are low, given the circumstances, but lo and behold, Kirishima turns out to be a surprisingly decent guy. Things get even more complicated when Yoshino starts attending a new school and realizes that her fiancé is a local heartthrob. Suddenly, she's the envy of every girl in the school and the target of their jealous wrath.
吉野の取り柄ってその顔と体だろ？それ売って金にしてくれない？
It's a classic case of, I want what she has, but in this case, what she has is a dangerous Yakuza connection. Number 5, Trillion Game. Money is the root of all evil, and Haruto Noji is about to prove it. This charismatic charmer, beloved by all, has an ambition so big it might just swallow the entire world. He's like a human tornado, sweeping everyone into his path with his infectious enthusiasm. And when he sets his sights on $1 trillion, you better watch out. This isn't just a goal, it's a declaration of war against financial gravity. Then we have Manabu Taira, the brilliant but socially awkward engineer. He's the yin to Haru's yang, the quiet force behind the charismatic front.
これから考える。
Together, they're a team that's as unlikely as a penguin riding a skateboard, but their shared ambition is a bond stronger than any friendship, a burning desire to prove that even in a world dominated by money, brains and bravado can still win the day. Number 4, Goodbye Dragon Life. Retirement is nice, isn't it? Dolan, the former dragon overlord, is now living the quiet life of a farmer. Imagine a dragon, once feared by gods and mortals alike, now tending to crops and chasing away chickens. It's a dramatic change of pace, but Dolan's found a certain peace in his new existence. Then along comes Selena, a Lamia with a penchant for mischief and a serious case of loneliness. She's on the hunt for a partner, but humans, it seems, aren't exactly thrilled by the idea of dating a half-snake. Dolan, being the chill dude he is, doesn't mind. In fact, he finds her company rather refreshing. Together, they're on a different adventure, proving that even a former dragon can find excitement in the most unexpected places. From facing off against rival villages to dealing with the occasional magical mishap, Dolan and Selena's unlikely friendship is put to the test.
怪我一つ負わずに帰ってくる。約束しよう。
But through it all, they discover that sometimes the greatest adventures are the ones you find in your own backyard, or swamp in their case. Number 3, the do-over damsel conquers the Dragon Emperor. A Prince Charming saving you? Nyah! You'd rather wrestle a dragon with a butter knife. Jill Savelle, the lady goddess of war, has had enough of being a damsel in distress. Betrayed by her fiancé and framed as a traitor, she's ready to rewrite her destiny. And what better way to do that than waking up 6 years in the past, armed with the knowledge of her future self? Jill's plan? To avoid her impending engagement to the future tyrant, the Dragon Emperor Hades Theos Rave. But when her joking declaration of love surprises everyone, including herself, she finds herself in a rather unexpected situation.
僕は妻にひざまずくと決めている。
No more punching a maggot to death, it's more about maintaining a balance of royal politics and court life, all while trying to prevent the man she's supposed to hate from becoming the villain of her nightmares. Number 2, the Blue Wolves of Miba.
僕たちはずっと我慢してきた。強くなりたい。
As cool as the name sounds, this is more of a tale about a young orphan living in a world on the brink of chaos. This is a Japan where the streets are painted red with blood and the air is thick with tension. Neo, our young protagonist, is thrown into this maelstrom of political intrigue and samurai warfare. He's a beacon of hope in a sea of despair, a kid who just wants to make things right. When he stumbles upon Hijikata Toshizo and Okita Soji, two of the most feared and respected ronin of the time, he finds himself drawn into their world.
満点だ。行くぞ。
The Miburo, their group of blue wolves, is a band of outcasts fighting against the tide of change. Neo, with his unwavering belief in justice, sees them as a way to make a difference, but as he becomes more involved, he realizes that even the most noble of causes can be tainted by the darker side of human nature. It's a story of loyalty, betrayal, and the struggle to find one's place in a world on the cusp of revolution. Number 1, Dandadan. Welcome to a world where aliens and ghosts are as real as the clothes on your back. It's like living in a cosmic ghost story, but without the spooky soundtrack. Momo Ayase, our protagonist, is more of a ghost hunter than an alien enthusiast. She's got a knack for spotting spooks, but aliens, not so much. And then there's this alien-obsessed kid who's convinced he's got the inside scoop on extraterrestrial life. These two, with their opposing beliefs, get into a heated debate that's more like a battle of wills than a friendly discussion. To settle the score, they decide to embark on a prove-me-wrong adventure, each visiting their respective haunts of choice. Little do they know, they're about to stumble upon a world that's far more bizarre than either of them could imagine. Turns out, both aliens and ghosts are real, and they're causing quite a stir. It's like a cosmic mix-up, with aliens landing in the wrong places and ghosts haunting the wrong houses. And now, Momo and her alien-obsessed friend are tasked with fixing this supernatural mess. It's a job that's as out of this world as the creatures they're dealing with.